sort of a blend of Pilates exercises with some functional movement and sensory integration. If you joined me 2 weeks ago, it'll be a similar class as 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there's going to be sort of like, you'll feel like the Pilates side, and then there's also this other mix of all these other modalities that I love using as well. So I'm going to have you guys actually start with some hand exercises and feet exercises. We were just talking before the recording started, before maybe some of you guys came on, about how important it is to integrate the end points of your body, to become aware of the end points of your body, so that when you're doing your movement practice, you're integrating everything in between those points. All right, so we're going to start with just some hand work, and I want you to just rub your fingers into your palms. Doesn't have to be like super organized, or, you know, just anything that's just kind of getting your hands moving. And you may get tired, and that's okay. And then we're going to clap our hands. Good, that vibration through the hands. Yeah. Good. And then we're going to snap our fingers. Good. Good, and then we're going to tap each finger to the thumb. So start with the index finger and thumb. You're saying to your body, hey body, I have an index finger and a thumb, and we're going for it. And then the next finger. And then the next finger. Yeah. And the next finger, the last finger, the pinky side. Good. One of my favorite ways to stretch the hands too, if you guys have rings on, you may want to take the rings off. So we're going to take the webbing of your thumbs and bring them together and then rub. Good. And by stretching the webbing of your hands, it's going to allow you to spread your hands out more when we're doing planks or quadruped positions on the floor. So then take the next part, so the webbing in between your pointer finger and your middle finger. Yeah. And then we'll do Star Trek here. Yep. And then the last one all the way in. So I have you guys on a TV screen, so if it looks like I'm looking up, it's just because my TV is right above the camera, okay? All right, so then go ahead and interlace all of your fingers there and just pretend like you're an evil villain and massage the hands, yeah. Good. And then give yourself a clap. Yeah, we're gonna start patting our arms as well, just to wake up the sensory systems in the arms. And then cross across the chest, we'll go to the other side. I'm gonna try to be a little quieter so it's not in the microphone. But give yourself a nice pat. You can rub the arm, just getting the skin stimulated. And this helps your brain go, okay, body, I know where you're at, your proprioception. Yeah, good. We'll do sort of the same thing down your thighs. And then the backs of your thighs, give yourself either patting the legs or rubbing the legs, all the way down to your calves. And if you have dogs, maybe you're wiping the dog hair off your leggings. Yeah, good. Awesome. And then we're going to do some feet stuff. So let me just nod the camera down just a little bit. Okay, I know my head's getting cut off, but I want you guys to be able to see my feet. So use a chair or something to help you balance. You want to be on a wall if you need it. So right here, you're just going to bring your foot so that you're in this kind of high heel position, or for guys, heel raise position. And we're going to rock the toes, rock the foot right and left. Good, getting you to stretch your toes all the way to the pinky side. Yep. And then we're going to go the opposite. So bring your toenails down to the floor behind you and rock side to side. And if you want more of a stretch, if you've got really bendy toes, you can bring the foot more underneath you this way. And I have freakishly bendy feet, so we'll maybe be a little bit more back here. And then some circles. Yeah. Good. And then go ahead and just pound that foot on the floor. And I've got downstairs neighbors, so I'm going to be a little bit light on that, but try to pound your foot so you get some vibration up your heel into your leg. And that's your body saying, okay, I've got this foot and I'm going to connect into my foot throughout the rest of the movement practice. Good. Let's do the same thing on the other side, lifting the heel up and then rock side to side. Yep. And then go ahead and go toenails down. So wherever you want to place yourself for that, if it's a little further back, it's going to be a little less aggressive. More underneath you will be more aggressive on the stretch and rock side to side. Yeah. Keep those feet mobile and then go in circles and around. Good. And then go ahead and stomp that foot out. Make some loud noises. Wake up your housemates. Something like that. Really loud. Get that vibration going through the whole leg. Yeah. Good. Nice job. All right. So we're still going to use the chair for a little bit of just like balance and feedback. Oh, I'm still cutting off my head. There we go. All right, so we're going to do what's called a king squat. So this is going to be where we're hinging forward, we're bowing forward, and walk yourself back far enough so that you can get the shoulder stretch as well, which allows you to sort of drop your heart down towards the floor and you'll get some extension.
Hinge. And then come down into a little bit more of a squat where your hips are down. Press your hips back up towards the ceiling and then give yourself this full stand. You can let go of your chair as you stand back through. Reach towards your chair as you send your hips behind you. Drop your hips down and so that you're in a little bit of a squat. If you can let go, you can let go. Press your hips back up towards the ceiling and then stand all the way through. We're going to do that about 3 more times. So go ahead and drop back, drop down, lift the hips, and then stand all the way up. Hinge forward, take an opportunity to stretch the shoulders. You can widen your toes out a little bit to drop down deeper into your squat. Bring your hips back up towards the ceiling and then stand through. And we're going to go through that one more time. I'm hoping you guys are with me. If I don't hear anything from you, all is well, I'm assuming. Drop the hips down. Hips go up and then all the way up to stand. Really nice. We're gonna get rid of the chair for now and go ahead and come down onto the carpet or the mat. Yeah, I'm just gonna tip my screen down just a little bit. Phone doesn't pop up. Yeah. All right. So we're down on the mat. Go ahead and lay yourself down on your back. And we're gonna make a giant X with your body here. And then go ahead and flex and point your feet so that, again, we're taking our brain all the way to the end point of your body. And you're going to be working through that end point as we do some rolling drills here. Yep. All right. And then go ahead and keep your feet flexed the whole time. So pull the tops of the feet towards your shins. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Spiral your arm across the body and reach through that right heel behind you. And it's almost as if you're gonna lay on your side here. And then roll yourself back out and lay on your back. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So left arm comes up, cross the body with the left hand, start to roll yourself over, push through your left heel in opposition, almost as if you were to roll onto your right side. And then roll yourself all the way back and onto your X pattern here. We're going to do that a couple more times. Right arm reaches over and across. Reach your right heel out long. Rolling your body through. Left arm up, reach across. Reach the left heel in opposition and then return. One more time on each side. Here we go. Cross the body, big roll. Reach all the way through your fingertips. We warmed those up all the way through your heel. Return home. And last one, reaching over. Good. And then bringing it all the way in. Pull your knees in so that your feet are flat on the floor. And then bring your hands down by your side. And we're just gonna do some bridging to open up the fronts of the hips now. Let's go palms facing up towards the ceiling. Press your hips up and stand on your shoulders. So wiggle your shoulders a little bit so that you can come a little bit more on top of the shoulders. And then lower your hips down. We're just gonna go simple bridge, press the hips up and lower the hips down. Press and lower. Good. And if you work faster or slower than me, that's fine. You're just going to work at your own pace. And we'll just do about 3 or so more of these. 2 more. Good. One more time. Awesome. And then release. Roll onto your side facing the camera. So make sure you can still see me. And then you can make a little pillow with your bottom arm and rest your head. We're going to take your top knee, slide your top knee forward so your top leg becomes longer than your bottom leg. That's because you rocked your hip forward. And then your top hip's going to slide backwards and your top leg will become shorter than your bottom leg. Slide the knee forward. And then slide your knee backwards. So the seams of your pants or your inner thighs are sort of sliding past each other here. Good. And as a byproduct of this knee sliding, we're getting some nice rotation and movement in your hips that sometimes is missing when we're walking. So we're going to get some artificial hip rotation here, sort of mimicking the movement that would happen in your hips during gait. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Nice work. Roll onto your back again. And we're going to do a second set of bridging. Feet underneath you. Arms down by your side, palms facing up. Press your hips into that bridge just like we did before. Standing on your shoulders. We're going to make that artificial walking motion again in your hips. Take your right hip down towards the floor.
and then press your right hip back up towards the ceiling. Left hip comes down towards the floor, and then push your left hip back up towards the ceiling. So go ahead and you're just gonna do one hip at a time. Try to keep the other hip reaching towards the ceiling. Good. As you're working through your bridging, notice the sensation that's on the bottom of your feet. So you're feeling maybe like the rug or the hardwood or your yoga mat. Just bring your attention all the way to the bottom of your feet. Yeah, we're gonna do 3 more rocks. 3, 2, and last one. And then bring the hips down. Nice job. Go ahead and bring one leg behind, bring your hands behind one thigh. And then right here, we're just gonna start to rock ourselves a little bit. Curl your head and shoulders up off the mat. As you're rocking, push your leg into your hands to get a little bit more effort and work to help you get all the way up. Good. And we're gonna rock, rock, rock until you sit all the way up and you feel confident in that sit. Nice. Spin your legs around and you're gonna lay on your side, facing the camera again, but on the other side that you did before. So don't do the same side twice. Make sure you're on the other side. Fold your knees in, make a pillow with your bottom side arm. We're gonna do the same drill that we did on the other side. We're just gonna do it on this side again. So sliding the knee forward, make your top leg longer than your bottom leg. Slide the hip backwards, make your top knee shorter than the bottom knee. Slide forward and slide back. Slide forward and slide back. Nice. So some of you may notice that in order to get this movement in your body, there may be a lot of movement in the shoulders. So if that's you and this is your first time doing it, go for it. Big movement, dynamic movement, all good. If you've been at this for a while, you've been doing Pilates for a while, let's get a little bit more specific. Limit the movement in the shoulders and make it a little bit more isolated in the hip joint. Yeah. Last 2. And one more time. Good. Roll onto your back. We're going to do our 3rd and final set of bridging. Go ahead and roll onto your back. Hands down by your side, palms facing up. Press your hips towards the ceiling, stand on your shoulders. And we're going to walk the hips again one last time. Drop one hip down, the other hip down. Push up nice and high in between the hip drops. Yeah, drop, press, drop, press. Again, as you're bridging, feel what's going on underneath your feet. What texture do you have underneath your feet? Is it soft carpet? Is it sticky yoga mat? Is it, what's that called? Really fluffy carpet. We're gonna do that 2 more times, high pill carpet. Good, and then all the way down with those hips. Nice work. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Let your knees fall away from the camera and bring your eyes over towards the camera or even your hand stretched out. We're gonna switch it. So the knees will go towards the camera and your eyes and your head will go away from the camera with your arms stretched out. Go ahead and switch again. Rotate and reach. Rotate and reach. Good. Excellent. Overhead. And they don't have to be close. Your hands don't have to be close. In fact, have them like a little bit sort of separated out to the side. And we're just going to make some, I think we did this last time, snow angels. or dog hair angles in the shoulders. Try your best to try to get the whole arm to be on the mat. Okay, so your knuckles are on the floor, the back of your arm is on the floor. And then just like we did with our feet earlier, notice the texture that your skin is grazing over. So the texture, the carpet, the rug, the mat is giving your body sensory information and helping you feel where your body is in space. We'll do that one more time. Nice job. And then I realized we forgot to do the other side rolling like a ball, so we're gonna do that here. Bring your left knee into your chest and grab behind your thigh. And we're gonna start rocking. Lift your head up off the mat. Think about kicking your thigh into your hands to help get yourself off the floor. We're gonna do 3 more, and then hopefully by the 3rd one, you've gotten some momentum to help you come all the way to a seated position. True? Yes, nice. All right, from here, let's bring you into a kneeling position. And if this position, if you can't be on your knees for whatever reason, knee replacements, all that, you can do this just sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, all right? We're gonna separate your knees just a little bit. Slide down the side of your left leg and bring your arm up overhead and reach. Now here, imagine that your ribs are like an accordion. They're gonna flare and fan open. And we're gonna cartwheel, big movement through your hands, right? All the way to your fingertips, over to the other side, slide down the right side of your thigh, open your ribs on this side, like an accordion as you inhale. And we'll cartwheel over to the other side. Same thing. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Good. Remember, Adam, you liked this one on the chair. Up and over. Inhale. Good. We'll do that one more time. As you guys are working through this, try not to let your hips sink back and your body be folded forward. Really open up your chest towards the ceiling. Cartwheel over, same thing, one more time on the other side. Really nice job. Good. We're gonna come into a hands and knees position. Again, if your body, if you're not doing work on your knees, you can do the same work here with your hands on a low table or low chair, okay? So if you're not doing hands and knees for whatever reason. All right. In your hands and knees position, we're gonna have your toes tucked underneath you. I actually think I'm gonna bring my camera a little bit closer, you guys, because maybe it's just my small screen. See you guys, and then my phone flips off and logs out. Here we go.
Stephanie, you need to unmute.
Here we go. Am I there? Am I here now?
Yep.
Oh God. Okay, we're here. We're here. All right, separate your hands. If you guys hear that, separate your hands really big so that you can have the webbing of your fingers be stretched. We stretched your hands at the beginning for a reason. So come on down to the mat. And just like we did earlier with your feet, try to feel the sensation that's underneath your hands. Is it soft? Is it plush? Is it sticky? Is it hard? And if you want to, you can even like rub your carpet or your whatever you're on just to give you that sensory connection. Tuck your toes underneath you so that your feet are active. And then go ahead and go into a cat-cow here. So press yourself into that nice flexion, round your spine, push the ground away, tuck your tail underneath you. Let your tail unravel first and roll yourself into that extension, shoulders out of your ears. Good. From here, first, tuck your tail, roll your spine one vertebrae at a time to go into that full flexion, that black cat. And then go tail first, unravel the tail, roll yourself into extension and bring your heart forward. Good, we're gonna do that a couple more times. Draw the tail underneath you, roll through the spine, draw the head down, push the ground away. Untuck the tail, roll through, roll through, roll through, and eyes up. One more time here, tail goes underneath, draw the spine underneath you, and then unravel the tail and coming all the way out. Nice. Go ahead and sit back. So you're going to flatten your feet out and sit back over your heels. This is going to maybe stretch the tops of your feet. Rock forward, tuck your toes underneath you now, and then sit back over your heels. And that might stretch the bottoms of your feet and your big toe. We're going to do that back and forth one more time. So rock forward, untuck, sit back, rock forward, tuck in, and sit back. Great. And then go ahead and bring yourself back into your hands and knees position. We're going to lift your left foot off of the floor and give it sort of like this bounce to it. Saying hi foot. Yep, I'm waving in the air. Replace that foot down and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Wave your foot. Good. And then bring it back down. Nice. So you're going to take your original side. Let's lift one foot. Doesn't matter which one. Take your foot over to the side and see if you can see your foot by winding your spine to the side there, side bending. Same foot, we're gonna switch to the other side. Take your eyes over and see if you can see your toes on the other side. So we're gonna go through that, back and forth. Foot over to one side, foot over to the other side. And your knee, you guys keep going, I'm just gonna come up for a second. Your knee is gonna sort of swivel on the mat. It should be sort of spiraling on the mat. All right, as you guys are side bending from side to side, wag your tail with it and wag over to the other side. We'll do that one more time each. Wag to the left, wag to the right. Nice job. Go ahead and shake your feet out by pounding them on the mat. Boom, 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 boom. And then come off your wrists, flick your hands like you're trying to dry them without a paper towel. Yeah, and then shake them out. We're gonna do the same thing just on the other leg. I'm just gonna spin around so you can kind of see the side that we're working with. So float the foot, make sure you're on the side that you didn't do last time. Side bend, take your eyes to the foot. Go to the other side, same foot, just the opposite direction. Going side to side. These are called tail wags. So you can get your pelvis and your tail involved as well. So the foot's winding around side to side and the tail is also wagging. Two more times. And last one. Grab your, clasp your hands. I'm just going to come closer to the camera. Clasp your hands and roll your wrists. Try to keep your elbows relatively close to one another. And then wrist roll in the opposite direction. Okay, we're going to do more work in quadruped. So we're getting those wrists involved. Good. All right, so we're going to come back to your quadruped position. And so hands and knees. And we're going to do a little bit of work in some core stability and crawling. Right here, go ahead again, wide fingers. Take your right, bring your hands a little bit more narrow and your knees a little wider. We're gonna take your right hand to your left shoulder and then replace it down, and then left hand to right shoulder and place it down. So you're just taking away one of the legs of your table, and that work gets absorbed by the other 3 limbs and the core. And you can give yourself a little pat on the shoulder too. Always an opportunity for sensory feedback. Last one. Okay. Now you're going to take your hands wider and your knees narrower, and we're going to bring one leg back at a time. So reaching one leg back, you can flex your foot, have that activation in the ends range, bring it back home. Kick your other leg back, dorsiflex your foot, so you have full integration all the way to your heel. Good. As you work from side to side, there is a subtle weight shift that happens, but try to minimize the drama that happens as you work from right to left. Yes, 2 more. And last one. Nice job. And then go ahead and sit back off the wrists. We're going to go roller coaster. So rolling through. And then switch the direction of your roller coaster. One side's always more awkward than the other. Look at this, we're on a little slant too. All right, come on down, hands and knees. We're gonna start to crawl forward, so make sure you have some space in front of you. If not, scoot back a little bit here. So right here, have your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. Take your right hand off the floor and your left knee. So right hand, left knee, opposites. Slide them forward and plant. Left hand, right knee, hover and plant. Hover, plant, hover, plant, hover, plant. One more time, hover, plant. We're gonna go backwards now. Left hand, right knee, hover, shift back. Right hand, left knee, hover, shift back, plant. Opposite side, hover, shift back, plant. Hover, shift back, plant. Hover, shift back, plant. Hover, shift back, plant. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Good. All right, so we're gonna crawl forward and backwards again. Challenge yourself to lift up the hand and knee at exactly the same moment, and they land at exactly the same moment. Good. Again, not too much drama as you weight shift from right to left. Good. Once you feel like you've gone forward enough, you can go backwards. Same thing. Lift the limbs at the same exact time, and they land on the floor at the same exact time. Good. Nice. We're going to go forward, back one more time, getting the endurance on the wrists and the shoulders. Here we go. Forward. Yep, and back. I know that's a lot of work on your wrists. The more you do it, the better it gets, I promise. Awesome. Nice job. I'm going to center myself up so I'm not off screen here. Let's come into a high kneeling position here. Take a moment, shake out the wrists. We'll be off the wrist for a second here. We're going to shift our hips over to the left side as you lower yourself down into a side sit. Grab onto your shins on the right side and side stretch over the top. This is called mermaid in Pilates. Good. From here, use your hands if you need to bring yourself up off that side sit into your tall kneel. And we'll go off to the other side. So side sit over to the right side. Use your hands if you need to, and then grab onto your shin and side stretch. Try not to be closed here. Open your heart towards the ceiling almost. And then use your hands, bring yourself up to tall kneel. We're gonna rinse and repeat that. So drop off to the side, use your hands if you need to. Side stretch. Yep. Bring yourself back up. drop down. Now, if this is simple for you, go ahead and pick up a little bit more of a tempo where you're coming down and up a little bit quicker. I'm going to stay at this pace for those of you that it's new for. Okay, dropping down and side stretch. Good. We'll do 2 more. Up, drop down. Awesome. Breathe into those ribs. And side stretch. Lovely. Go ahead and come on up to that high kneel position again. We're going to take your left foot and slide it forward into this half kneel position, sort of this proposal stance. And then you can have your hands on your hips. Figure out where you want to be here to be pretty balanced. So a little tip here. If your foot is a little bit more out to the side, you have more of this wider stance in between your feet. That's going to be a more balanced position because your base of support is wider. If you want to challenge your balance, just bring this foot a little bit more narrow, if not in line with your knee. All right. We're going to take this foot back and then bring your right foot forward. Yeah, and then play around with what that means to have the leg out to the side or the leg in line. There we go. And then bring the leg back underneath you. We're going to do that switch a little bit quicker. So left foot comes forward, land it where you want it to go, and then replace it back in. Right foot comes forward, land it where you want to, and then bring it back in. Okay, a couple more of those, just getting that switch, that agility there. If you need to hold on to your chair, hold on to your chair or the wall or the couch, the coffee table. And we're just getting that hip flexion and weight shifting component. We're going to do last one on this right side and then finish with your left foot forward. Really nice. Now again, if you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. If not, bring your hands onto your forehead and remind yourself to draw your chin in and lift through your spine. Okay. From here, you have your left knee forward. We're going to rotate over to the left side. Take your eyes behind you on the left side. So your eyes are going to the left corner of your eyeball socket. Left corner of your eyeball sockets. And then bring yourself back to the center. We're going to do that again. Over to the left, bring your eyeballs all the way to the left side of your eyeball sockets. And then center yourself back up. 3 more. Rotate. Drop that right shoulder down. Center. Rotate again. And center. Again, if you're holding onto a chair, last time rotating. Be like this. Yes. Nice job. All right, we're going to tuck this left knee in. And go to the right knee. Forward, no drama. We already practiced that. Either hands on your forehead or hand on the chair. Rotate over to the right and bring your eyeballs to the right eyeball socket. And then center. Rotate to the right eyeball socket. And then return. Right eyeball socket. As you rotate to the right. One more time. And rotate, rotate, rotate. Good. And then bring it home. Nice job. I'm going to have you guys keep that right leg forward. Just going to turn so you can see. See if you can bring your hand down so you're in this tripod stance here and slide your back knee back a little bit so we get a hip flexor stretch. Okay. And then when you're ready, bring both hands to the floor or towards the floor. If this feels inaccessible for you, you're going to have your hands on the chair and you're still going to be in this kind of runner's lunge situation here. Okay. We're going to rock back depending on whatever version you're doing, or it does not depend on whatever version you're doing. Rock back, rock forward, rock back and rock forward, rock back and rock forward, rock back and rock forward. Good, we'll do 2 more. And last one. Nice job. All right, so we're gonna come on up into that tall nail position, push off the floor, tuck your right knee back in. Left knee comes forward or left foot comes forward. Decide if you wanna either be on the floor or with a chair. Come into a little bit more spread through the knee. So slide your knee back and then rock forward and rock back. Good. We'll go 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Nice work. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. Tuck the leg underneath you, and you're all set. I'm going to move the chair out of the way. Walking on your knees is also a really nice practice to do, but we'll leave that for next time, huh? This is called cat stretch. So on your knees, we're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. You can also do this standing down to a chair. Roll your spine down, stretch your arms forward as far as they can go, and land your hands on the mat. Shift your weight forward over your wrists. Let the hips drop a little bit and come into a little bit of extension in your upper back. Shift the weight off of your hands, back over your knees. Round your spine and bring yourself all the way back up to that tall kneeling position. Bring your hands down. So again, this is working that transition from kneeling to quadruped. Bringing the arms up, shrug up, decompress the spine as you roll and reach forward. Almost grab it. Come into a little bit of extension where you're shifting past your wrists. You can let the hips drop if you'd like and come into even more extension, sort of from a yoga practice. Bring the hips back, shift back over your heels. Round your spine, tucking your tail just like we did earlier. Launch the arms forward and bring it on down. We're going to do that 2 more times. If you're with me, you're with me. If you want to go a little faster, feel free to launch yourself into that zone. Shift forward, almost grab the carpet and bring yourself forward, lowering the hips into extension. Sit the hips back, launch forward or launch back, reach the arms. Last time, inhale. Roll through, shift forward, hips go down, eyes go up, open heart, shift back, reach the arms forward and all the way up. We're gonna come down onto our stomach, but I want you to use that movement, that practice as a way to transition down to the floor. So instead of just plopping down, we're gonna use that as a transition. So arms up, round yourself forward, slide yourself out all the way down to the mat and come down to your stomach. Yeah. So we're gonna take your hands and place them underneath your forehead and just let your head sort of rest there and your body be flat and open on the mat. Yeah. From here, I want you to wiggle your hips right and left while keeping your head heavy on the mat. Your nose should be pointing towards the floor and sort of the back top of your head is reaching out in front of you. So you have a little chin nod down towards your chest. Go ahead and rotate your head so that your left ear is on your hands and see how much of your cheek or your ear can manage to be on your hands there. Can you get your head to fully turn to the one side? As you switch to the other side, try to keep your nose facing the floor. So you're not taking your eyes forward, but you're taking your eyes almost down towards your chest. Switch over to the other side and then see how much of your ear or your cheek manages to be on that side. Just getting little neck stretches. We're going to switch back to the original side. Again, let your eyes and nose sweep downward as you switch. And your eyes and nose switch down, sweep downwards as you switch to the other side. Nice work. We're gonna do one last little bit. We're gonna go for a swim. So right here, bring your hands a little bit next to your shoulders. I'm not looking for a super, super high extension in your back. I'm just more looking for supported length. So draw your belly button up off the floor. Let your pubic bone go heavy. And then float your heart here. We're gonna slide the arms forward, either on the carpet or your mat. Circle them out to the side. Bring them past towards your hips. Let them fold back underneath your shoulders. Slide them forward, come around towards your hips. So breaststroke. You want to be looking down towards the carpet so that you can streamline through that water. Don't let your eyes come up. Look down. And then if you're feeling good about this exercise, we're going to flutter kick your legs, just like you were kicking in the water. We're going to go for about 10 more seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Go ahead and press yourself back into not quite a child's pose, but we're gonna go frog. So knees are a little bit wider and your toes are touching, and you're gonna be on your elbows here. Shift forward over your elbows and then shift back over your hips, heels. Your hips over your heels. Shift forward and shift back. Shift forward, shift back. Just do about 3 more of those. And 2 more. And last one. Nice work. Bring your knees in a little bit closer to one another. Tuck your toes underneath you. And then start to roll yourself back so that you're more over your feet. Your knees are going to lift off the floor. Now, if you have a tendency to fall backwards, I want you to position yourself so that you have a couch or something behind you. We're going to rock backwards a little bit more into sort of a more of a squat. I'm going to turn so you guys can see, but back yourself up, have something behind you. And then as you stand up, you're going to try to keep your weight more on the toes. Okay? Use a chair if you need to. We're going to lower back down, bring the knees down, rock back. Try to keep the weight on the toes. Use a chair in front of you if you need to, or the couch next to you, and then stand up, push the ground away. We're going to do that one more time. I'm taking you guys all the way up too, because I know you had technical difficulties. So we're going to bring the knees down, shift back, chest up, slowly rise yourself up. Nice job. From here, find some open space that you can do a little bit of like just an assessment just to kind of wrap things up here. Have your feet on the floor, nice and solid. Again, feel the floor underneath you. What's the texture? Is it sticky? Is it hard, soft, plush? Yeah, play with your toes. And then feel your knees, nice and bouncy. Feel your hips, move them side to side, do a little hula hoop or hula, I guess, salsa. Move your spine as if it were the seaweed in the waves. And then move your shoulders as if you were doing backstroke, but you had no arms. Good. And then move your head like you're saying no. Side to side. And then just be. Close your eyes for a second here. A lot happened in that last hour. Like a lot happened in that last hour. Feel yourself buzzing with energy. That's a healthy glow in your body. Your ability to absorb and redistribute forces throughout your system so that you're not so static, but you're able to move with the energy that's coming in and out. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a really loud, audible exhale through your mouth. Ah. Nice work. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a quick break. If you need to use the restroom or grab water,